Good afternoon, everyone, from your friends at Magick.tv and RobRubinReadings.com. And today, we're going to start the beginning of our four-part Elemental Magic series, where I'm going to be talking about the four elements and how they work, and basically how you can use it to supercharge your magic and manifestations. Now, I tell people in my Manifestation Masterclass all the time that although we are beings of a combination of the four elements, earth, wind, fire, and water, at the end of the day, there will be one element in which will be predominant in us. This element will be something that, in effect, will be how we do things on a temperamental level. It's how we will express ourselves. It'll be the element that we resonate with the most. And because of this, this is how we will express our magic. And for today, we're going to be discussing the element of fire. Yes, fire, the element of passion, the element of leadership, the element of command, the element of destruction, even for lack of a better word at times. Now, you would ask me, how do I know what my element is? Well, you're going to need to take the Manifestation Masterclass to figure that out. Or you're going to need to do a lot of introspection to find that out. But if you are a person who resonates more with the element of fire, you are an individual who, in effect, will be driven by their passions and at times even their obsessions. It's an all or nothing game with a fire manifester or a fire mage. They are known to be very strong, very driven, very inspirational people, and there's no middle ground. So they're either all out in doing something or they don't do it at all. There's really no slow and steady way of doing things, not at all for fire people. Very explosive. Most of the time, you'll notice that they're caffeinated half the time. Now, one thing I've noticed, though, about fire people is, just like the element of fire itself, it needs fuel. It needs to spread. It needs to grow. So in other words, what this means is if you are a fire mage or a fire manifester, you need to constantly be spreading and growing whatever it is you are passionate about. One example of this that I like to use is the late Gandhi of India, whose ideology of non-violence he used to spread throughout India to liberate India from their British occupiers. And the more people believed in non-violence, the more powerful it became. And eventually, after hundreds of years of occupation, the British left and India was given their independence. This is a good example of how the fire element works in a benevolent manner. That the more people you spread with what you're passionate about, the more people you infect, the more powerful your magic and manifestation will become. I like to tell people that fire is one of two of the elemental forces that work well with social media nowadays. And especially for people who are akin to the fire element, the more people like, share, enroll into your content, the more powerful your manifestations will become. So with that being said, if you're a fire manifester, or fire mage, one of the things you really want is to spread your message. The worst thing you can do for yourself is really just keep quiet. The worst thing you can do for yourself is stay silent. Don't draw attention to yourself, because just like a fire itself, if left alone, it will eventually die out. Now, some of the pros of being a person whose affinity is with fire is because is more towards, let's say, people will find you inspirational. People will follow you. People will listen to you. You have a strong impact on how you, engage with other people. They will say you are very driven, you are very passionate, sometimes even very obsessed with what you're doing. But people will never deny how strongly you feel about something. Now, the negative is people will, and they've said this to me as well, complain that you come on too strong. And for the people who don't resonate with you, they may find that a bit uncomfortable and they may avoid you, unfortunately. Or where the old saying goes, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Another thing, though, when it comes to being a fire manifester or a fire mage is that you will find yourself burning out a lot because you're using so much intense energy. You're so driven, you're so passionate that sometimes you will just shut down. And I will not deny when I say that fire manifestors or fire magicians really are hooked on coffee or stimulants a lot. preferably legal ones. In other words, me, I need my coffee because they are always in what we call energetic deficit. But when they are doing things, they are very explosive, very powerful, they have strong presences, and they really make impact. But at the same time, like I said, their energy tends to deplete really quickly. However, the fire manifestors or the fire mages are the people who make huge impacts, have strong messages, and very powerful outcomes because of how strongly and how intently they feel about whatever it is they are passionate about. So are you a fire manifestor? Do you want to know more about how this works? Ask me about my manifestation masterclass in the link below and see if manifestation or magic is the path for you. Take care, everyone.